Well, hello, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and of course, Facebook. My name is Frank Lavinia, and I wanted to do a quick live stream. I'm your friendly local neighborhood data scientist. Uh, but so recently, I upgraded my main desktop driver and to 128 gig, which gave me a couple of extra chips because I wanted to kind of max out what the motherboard would tolerate. I think I mentioned this the other day, even showed kind of the RAM with the blinking. So that got me, that triggered my OCD to start getting other computers kind of maxed out. So I have two. So for those of you who don't know, I tend to hoard desktop chassis and desktops, right? Um, if you look in the background, you'll see this one here. I think is older than my teenager. I'm probably gonna rip it open and get the cables out and kind of save it. Um, this one here. So let me kind of the thing. So I have two DDR4 compatible machines, and I once I bought kind of the new chips, I had a bunch of extra, actually two 16 gigs chips. So then I was like, hey, the 6 monitor rig here only had 24 gigs of RAM. So I was like, oh, I can now max that out to 32. That got me thinking. So that's what these are the old DDR4s, 4 gigs. And then that got me thinking, like, hey, I got another desktop, a Dell 8300, and I want to build out a SAN, and maybe even have kind of a Windows Active Directory kind of domain, so I can kind of log in and kind of have single sign-on for everyone in my tenant, which is basically my family. I know, super nerdy. So that got me thinking, hey, how much would it cost? How much would it take? What's the max on that motherboard? Because it's like a 14-year-old, no, 12-year-old computer. So it's not a new machine, but it's an i7. It's respectable. It actually has, where's the thing? I took the front off to do some cleaning on it. It's an i7, but check this out. It was made for Windows 7. Optimized for Windows 7. So clearly it's not a new machine, but it can definitely be a decent file server. So I actually booted up into Windows Server 2002, now with 32 gigs of RAM. So it's going to be respectable. That's up from 12. So I have a bunch of DDR3 kind of floating around. And just, I used to build computers like a long time ago. So it's kind of fun getting back into this. Hopefully, this will motivate me to get back into Raspberry Pi type stuff. But for the most part, I'm having a lot of fun. Fun fact: I installed the RAM and I booted it. I turned it on. And I heard 4 beeps. I'm like, wait a minute, 4 beeps is bad, right? So I looked it up, and it just means like, take the RAM out one by one, kind of snap it in. And it worked the second time. So that's the fun stuff with hardware. So I'm still planning out. I'm still building out the home lab. Obviously, I have kind of the big machine over there that's running. I think has 96 gigs, so I can kind of have a lot of VMs on that. And I actually run a couple of Linux VMs on that to run various services like a gateway. Not a proxy gateway. What's it called? TwinGate. I have TwinGate running on that. And that's pretty cool. I don't have a lot of big hard drives on that thing. But I might change that. Just a matter of kind of figuring out what I want to do with it. Plus, not all those bays work. I got it used, so It is what it is. But it's fun kind of building out in your own lab. I have another machine that's kind of old, but actually now I have a bunch of DDR3 I can kind of put into it and kind of max it out. So, reduce, reuse, recycle. I'm doing the reuse um, bit here, and it's a lot of fun actually. Like it's kind of like I'm having, as you can see on the screen, I'm fighting with the NVIDIA driver because that NVIDIA card is really old. I probably don't need to. I just because that's a fancy monitor with a crazy um, aspect ratio, it's kind of giving me a hard time. And I realize the server's probably going to be headless anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But with that, I think it's pretty cool to play around with hardware. I was talking with somebody the other day about work, and I was basically saying because of my experience with Windows Phone and the Windows monoculture of my life, I have very intentionally made it so I have Mac, iOS, Android, Windows, obviously, and Linux because I don't ever want to be boxed into one ecosystem ever again. I may have taken it too far, though. Just going to put that out there that I am aware that I may indeed be taking it too far. But hey, can't anything worth doing is worth overdoing. And with that sentiment, I'm going to sign out. I got my Pip Install Donkey shirt here. Shout out to Kristen for that idea. You can check it out in the Amazon store. I will, if you do a search on Amazon, you do Pip Install Donkeys, you can get this T-shirt too. So with that, I will end the stream and say thanks for watching. And I hope you have a fantastic day. I know this is kind of a short stream, but hey, better to stream a little than not stream at all. I'm Frank Lavinia, and you've been watching Frank's World TV. Hopefully you like the new intro graphic. I thought that was cool. So with that, I'll sign off and wish you all a wonderful Thursday. It is Thursday, right?